Mike Alvarez
Ooh,
from Illinois. What's up, man?
Hey guys, good to see you guys.
You too,
And
bro.
hey, just wanted to thank Micah and Josiah for letting me do this and share with you guys. Hopefully, you guys can hear me. But hey, I'm going to make this quick and concise because I know there's so many others that are going to be sharing, and we got some good people ahead of me that are going to be sharing here. So I'm excited about that. But let me just say, I am the young adult pastor here at Calvary Church in Naperville, Illinois. We're right outside of Chicago. And I've been here for about 2.5 years, just a little over 2.5 years. And I inherited a young adult ministry that has been in existence for many years. In fact, several decades. And but it had never been a thriving young adult ministry. It's always been one of those ministries that has existed. It's been great. In fact, somebody said to me that they always viewed young adult ministry here at the church as a babysitting ministry. Just there was enough young adults here that you could just hire somebody and that they would take care of them, and then that was pretty much it. And it's a long story, but to make a long story very short, I came in. There was probably about 50 to 55 young adults that were involved here, and when I came in, I ended up making some changes very quickly with some things, and immediately we began to see some amazing growth. In fact, growth that I didn't expect for it to be as rapid as it did. And in the last 2.5 years, we've grown from about 50 to about just under 500 young adults, and it's been amazing. And let me just say this: please don't look at the numbers and say you're like, "Well, I've been in this a lot longer than he has, and I haven't seen that level of growth." That is a very unique situation. Whenever this is something I tell my team
Here.
often is that whenever you experience God's blessing, God didn't call you to gloat; He called you to steward. And so we're here stewarding the blessing of God in this. And so one of the things I pray for often, I want to encourage you as you pray. There are two things that I believe the Lord has shown me over the years, and I've been in young adult ministry for probably the last 15 years. And the two things: number one, um, I made a commitment to the Lord years and years and years ago that I would teach His people how to pray, and I think that's a lost art in the church today. I know one of our guys talked about praying and intercession, and that's a huge part. I just believe that the battle is won in prayer, and that just as much as God has a plan for your ministry, so does the enemy. And so the enemy is strategizing just as much as God gives you a strategy. And so we are coming against the works of the enemy. And we meet on a weekly basis here and calling on God. We have about 75 young adults that show up, and we're just calling on the Lord. And it's a powerful wartime in prayer. And then here's the other thing that I stopped doing this years and years and years ago because sometimes as people in ministry, you kind of build your identity on numbers. And so when one week I would get a high number, the next week I get a low number, and then I would just be emotionally on a roller coaster. That I just wanted to quit. I think Carrie Newhoff talked about that. I think he said like the number one reason why ministers leave ministry today, it's not because of moral failure, but because of not depression, but of just discouragement. He talked about, and so ministry can be very discouraging. But if you build your identity on numbers, I mean, then you're just gonna hit yourself over the head with a 2x4. Um, but the one thing that I began to do was instead of praying for numbers, I began to pray for Matthew 9:38, where it talks about pray the Lord of the harvest for workers, for the harvest is plentiful, but the workers, those are few. And so we began to pray for more workers. And I just believe that when you pray for workers and you resource those workers, the Lord will eventually, if you're stewarding it properly according to God's way of structuring, then God will bless you with people. And so I began to pray for what I call dreamers, doers, developers, disciplers, and devoters. And basically dreamers are creatives, doers are people that implement the dreamers ideas. Developers are basically life coaches, people that can mentor. Disciplers are basically what you imagine that would be, disciple people in faith. And devoters are people that are intercessors, just people that will come alongside and say, hey, we're going to pray, we're going to intercede on behalf of this generation. And so I want to encourage you, if you're in this place, don't worry about numbers. Pray for workers. Like that's the thing. Pray that God will give you the right kind of people to come alongside you, share the vision and share the burden of what you're doing, and you're going to see the hand of God move in a powerful way.
Awesome.
Anyway, that's all I got. Thanks so much.
Amazing.